Clemson defensive lineman Bryan Bresee will upgrade any defensive line, but is he worth the New England Patriots pick at number 14? Stick around. You're about to be locked in to the Locked On Patriots podcast.
You are Locked On Patriots, your daily New England Patriots podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hello to all of you Foxborough faithful. Thank you once again for making Locked On Patriots a daily part of your New England Patriots coverage and also your first listen every day. Remember, Locked On Patriots is free and available on all platforms, including YouTube. So smash that subscribe button, download, subscribe to, follow Locked On Patriots wherever you get your podcasts. I'm your host, Mike Debate. I cover your New England Patriots for Patriots Country of Sports Illustrated. So reach out to me and let me know what's on your mind on Twitter at MDABATENFL. And while you're out there showing some love to the Twitterverse, please be sure to follow the Locked On Patriots account as well at LO_Patriots. Pats fans, today is Mock Draft Monday, and we have a potent pair of drafts to share with you today, both of which have the Patriots thinking defense right off the bat. And one of them is awash with trades. The other is intriguing as well. Trust me, you will be amused, you'll be entertained, and you'll be well informed by what we have for you here today. And I say we because the legend himself, Thomas Murphy of E2GSports.com, is along for the ride. It is also hashtag Locked On Murph Monday. So we'll be talking a lot of big Patriots prospects, including Alabama safety Brian Branch, Maryland cornerback Deonte Banks, big performance at the combine for Deonte, Penn State wideout Parker Washington, and Ohio State offensive lineman Dawand Jones, who wowed the onlookers at the combine with his measurements, especially the wingspan. Trust me, folks, Murph and I have you covered. You will not want to miss this one. But first, our friends, the experts over at thedraftnetwork.com, continue to prognosticate on the fate of all 32 NFL teams, including your New England Patriots. And for Monday's post-combine offering, Jamie Eisner has the Pats going a bit unconventional. Well, I say unconventional, but at least in terms of pressing needs anyway. We're in agreement that offensive line, cornerback, wide receiver are probably the team's top needs, but, you know, something about a Bill Belichick-led team that just always looks for more firepower on defense, and he has them going defensive line with Clemson's Bryan Bresee. And here's his reasoning, and I'm quoting Jamie verbatim right now. Quote, Bryan has had a challenging final season at Clemson due to various illnesses and a family tragedy. Let's not hold that against him. Breese has the athleticism to play all along the defensive line for Bill Belichick's defense, unquote. Happen to agree with him here. This is a tremendous talent, and there's a lot to like about this player. Automatically, if you're drafting him, whether you're the Patriots or anyone, he's going to project as a starting defensive lineman in the NFL. You have to think that the Patriots are going to find a way to incorporate him into that starting lineup. Does it mean they might part ways with a beloved guy like Lawrence Guy? That's a possibility. Devon Godchow, they extended him. You have to think that he's in their future plans. Christian Barmore, I think they're pretty well set there, and Dietrich Wise had a pretty good season last year. So where does he fit into this defensive line? That may be a concern, but if you're worried about talent or you're worried about ability to play at the pro level, you definitely do not need to. This kid, every time you watch him take the field, his natural ability is evident. He's capable of penetrating, constantly crashing through the gaps, and because of that, he really, really causes some problems in offensive backfields. Had an impact on Clemson right away. He earned ACC Defensive Rookie of the Year honors in 2020. And his time with the Tigers since has been really challenging in a lot of different degrees. And Jamie alluded to this a little bit earlier. He suffered multiple injuries in 2021, and his season ended after just 4 games with a torn ACL. He did play through some tragedy in 2022. Unfortunately, it held him to only 10 logging snaps in 10 games, unfortunately due to the tragic loss of his younger sister, Ella, to cancer in September. But as a true warrior, he continued to play through and continued to do everything he could to stay on the field. Declared for the draft in early January, so you knew that he had his eyes on the pros. And this kid can play at a pro level. He's got a prototypical build in order to play at the B gap at the NFL level. When he's fully healthy, he is a real challenge for interior offensive linemen to try to block. He's got great natural athleticism, really jumps off the page with this kid. Quickness that helps him keep in position. That allows him to complete his blocks, complete his tackles, and be a really strong presence up front. And the thing that I like about him is he is scheme diverse. He can play in a 3-4. He can play in a 4-3. He's very much comfortable when it comes to a pursuit type offense, excuse me, a pursuit type defense that the Patriots like to run. But at the same time, he does give them the versatility of being able to do whatever he needs. There are not a lot of downsides to him. Unfortunately, the one big downside is ability to stay on the field, durability. Several injury concerns over the past 3 seasons. We mentioned the torn ACL. All seems to be well in this regard, but you can never tell what's going to happen at a pro level. And he's taken fewer than 500 snaps over the last 2 seasons. So getting him acclimated into everyday work is going to be a difficulty. But even though Breese is a project, he's a potential high reward, maybe even a very potential high reward, really high. But at the end of the day, the Patriots just have too many needs on this team to take a flyer on a potential project. I know it's a Bill Belichick type move, and he does fit very well into this offense. I'm not going to lie, into this defense. I'm not going to lie, but it's just too great right now. If they're beefing up the offensive line, I see them doing that in the draft, and I see them doing that first before they're beefing up any other positions on defense. So while Jamie's logic and his analysis, I think, are spot on here, I don't think the Patriots do this. It's not what I would do. Perhaps it's what Bill would do. So definitely keep a sharp eye, and you'll know you heard it from Jamie first. And we tried to give you as much of a breakdown here on Locked On Patriots as possible. Bill is a defensive guy. And again, folks, stranger things have happened. But we have an exciting pair of defensive-minded mock drafts to share with you here today. Fear not, because we're not ignoring the offense either. Mock Draft Monday here on Locked On Patriots continues in just a moment. But first, if you're looking for a delicious treat but don't want all of the fat and calories, then you've got to try a Built Bar. If you're like me and you want to eat healthier but you don't want to compromise taste, then folks, I've got just the thing for you. You've got to try Built. With Built, healthy is actually tasty. Now, seriously, they're so delicious, you're not going to think these bars are good for you, but trust me, they are. I'm not sure how Built does it, but these bars taste like a candy bar, but they maintain amazing macros. And what's even better is that they are fully healthy for you. Only 130 calories on average, 4 grams of sugar, a whopping 17 grams of protein, and now you don't need to wait around to get a box. That's right. For years, we've been talking about ordering your Built bars at Built.com. Well, now you can get them at your local Walmart or your local Sam's Club. That's right. Head to your nearest Walmart today. Just walk right up to the pharmacy section. Grab yourself a box of Built bars. You can pick up a 4-bar box of cookies and cream, double chocolate, or even coconut puffs. And if you're close to a Sam's Club, even better. Run in, grab a 13-bar box with our hit flavors, brownie batter and churro. You can thank me later. Don't delay. Do it today. You gotta try Built. Patriots fans, the 2023 NFL Scouting Combine may be in the books, but Mock Draft Monday is alive and well. And even though tomorrow is the tag deadline, we are still bringing you the great mock drafts from all of you, the phenomenal listeners of Locked On Patriots. And boy, do we have a pair for you today. But before I welcome in that type of content that you just absolutely love here on Locked On Patriots, I am welcoming in my co-host for these 2 segments coming up. It wouldn't be Monday unless the man who invented Monday here on Locked On Patriots was joining me, Thomas Murphy of E2G Sports, the Count of Murphy Fisto himself. Murph, thank you for coming to me in friendship today, first of all, Don Murph. And second of all, we've got a real pair of mock drafts to share with you all today. But
we got a couple of good ones here, people. We really do. Always my pleasure to be here on a Monday, Michael. It would not. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Wouldn't be Monday if the 2 of us didn't sit down and chop up a little frickin' Patriots action.
Absolutely. And chop up, we definitely will. You know what, Murph? We're going to dive right in. We're going to get right into it. And the first submission of the year, not for the first submission in history, because this gentleman has been with us from the very early days of Mock Draft Monday here on Locked On Patriots, submitting great mock drafts, really, I think, for the past 3 years, Murph. This
Yeah.
guy's been doing a great job.
Yeah,
Our
he's a
good
vet.
buddy, our good buddy Bob on the border at Fantasy Godfath. That's Godfath. Of course, Murph and I have an affinity for the Godfather, and so does Bob, so we definitely love him for that. But well, I'll tell you, Bob submitted a very, very interesting draft here, and very timely considering all of the information in the news, Murph. There
Yep.
it is for you folks, right up on the screen, and we take a look at it now. Of course, you can see from the bottom there was a trade involved here.
Yeah.
The Patriots shipping a 4th rounder in 2024, but no one's interested in that. It's the 3rd rounder in the 70s. I apologize. No, we will be interested in that when the time comes. But the 3rd rounder in this draft, number 76, going to the Arizona Cardinals in favor of DeAndre Hopkins coming back. Murph, I'd love to see D-Hop in a Patriots uniform without any question. I don't think they're getting it done with anything less than a second. Even if they throw in sweeteners on the other end, I think definitely there's going to be a team out there that's going to offer that plus. Am I off base here, or do you think that's a pretty accurate assessment?
Yeah, that's a pretty accurate assessment, and that's why one of the reasons I really don't want this to happen. Hopkins, for all intensive purposes, has not been the man that he was before he got popped. Okay, I'm sorry, people. The truth hurts, and I always throw a 1-2 combination. It's just for the money that he's owed. I understand that right now with what we're seeing wide receivers get, that it is in no way, shape, or form outlandish. But I'm not adding that, losing a 3rd round pick and bringing in a guy that, quite frankly, has not played up to his contract to this point in time, being there in Arizona. I understand that he'll have a better quarterback here. I'm on record that Kyler Murray is the best second baseman in the NFL, and that's the nicest thing that I can say about him. But other than that, no, I'm not making this deal. I'm not.
Yeah, I think in a lot of ways, what the fan base is enamored with, and look, I fell on victim to that myself. You look at some of the information that you see, the success he had under Bill O'Brien, having his statistically most successful season when the two were together in Houston. You look at the route running ability. You look at the praise that Bill Belichick keeps on him, having tremendous ball skills. All of this, which is true, by the way. There's nothing that we're saying that's really an embellishment. This kid is definitely as good as they come in a lot of respects. But the thing about it is right now is with D-Hop north of 30 and also having someone with a similar skill set now that just popped up on the trade market. And I'm talking about the Monday morning reports about Allen Robinson potentially being available in Los Angeles. All of a sudden, you've got a little competition in the fire now. I'm not saying the Patriots make either one of these deals or even that they will be in position to make one of these deals. But the fact of the matter is now you've got a little bit more to consider, and I don't think you necessarily have to throw the kitchen sink at D-Hop to get him in here. And as we saw this weekend in the Combine, there are wide receiver options if the Patriots want to go that route. I still think they go offensive tackle. I think that's the most important need on this team. But if they do decide to go that route, I think they have some other options now, with the exception of DeAndre. And then there's always the Bill O'Brien factor. Do these guys really want to work together once again? You can say all you want to that they'll put their differences aside. Doesn't necessarily mean it's true. So
I never bought into too much of the differences things between the two of them. It was the Bible thumper that was up there in the GM's office that had the serious problem with this. Just my feeling. Okay, it's just a feeling, people. I have no inside information on this whatsoever.
Well, I mean, there's definitely a lot to be considered about the history in pro football when it comes to one Jack Easterby. But you know what? That could be a conversation for another day, my friend. We're going to go to Bob's draft here with the exception of the trade, because honestly, I thought he had really, really great opportunities for the Patriots to pick up some great positions of need. We'll start off right off the bat, round 1, pick 14. Patriots going safety. Going to elicit a lot of groans from a lot of people, but Look at the skill
Grown all
set of
you want.
Bryan. Yeah, look at the skill set of
Yep,
Bryan
grown
Branch,
all you
Murph.
want.
This one makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you guys talk about playmakers, and the Patriots need playmakers. This kid's a playmaker, and he can play anywhere on the field.
Thank you.
Anywhere. Okay, he can play down in the box. He can play free. You could stick him there on the outside if you need to. I love this pick. I've made this pick several times while bored and out here doing my own mock draft things, and I've taken grief for it. I really have. But then, once again, LJ comes back and really hits the nail on the head in the second round, which I've done in these drafts as well. So, what do you think of the Branch pick, man? I love it.
I love the Branch pick. Talk about an amazing instinctual defender, someone that just
Mhm.
knows where he needs to be on the field at all times.
Nose
That is a
for the ball.
prototypical Patriot. It really
Yep.
is. You read his description, short area quickness. All of a sudden, you start thinking Devin McCourty. You start
Yep.
thinking Kyle Duggar a little bit as well
Yeah.
in the short area quickness. Acceleration. All of a sudden, you start thinking of guys like Lawyer Malloy that have played here a long time
Mm.
ago that have that acceleration and that high motor. But the other thing that you consider is he can align all over the field. And that's where I see Adrian Phillips in this kid. Deep safety, strong safety, align in the nickel, play the hybrid
Yep.
linebacker. He's been the man in the end of the line of scrimmage in a lot of blitz packages. That to me is where he's at his best. He
Go
really
ahead.
plays close to the line of scrimmage, and he can play the nickel. He can play the hybrid linebacker role. This is what I love about Branch, and this is what I like about him in terms of his fit for the Patriots. He's just that jack of all trades that can do them all. He's not a jack of all trades and master of none. He's a jack of all trades and master of most.
Right.
And in this system, getting an opportunity to play under Bill Belichick, it's only going to hone those skills
That's it.
in. Patriots could hit a home run here. It's not going to be a popular pick because of a lot
No.
of what is out there and the needs that this team has,
Yep.
but they value safety at such a high level, and especially if Devin has decided that he's not going to come back. And again, folks, I'm not breaking any news here.
No.
I'm still going on what you're going on, that he's still considering it. We should hear probably
It's
soon on
thin
Devin,
back
but
there. The
yeah,
hairline is thin back there as it is.
it
Okay.
is.
If Devin decides not to come back, then it's going to be a straight Mr. Clean back there,
Mm,
and you've got to take care of this position. And Brian Branch is somebody that's going to come in, start on day one, and will be here for the next decade.
yeah, absolutely. And he absolutely
It's a
will.
can't
So,
miss. He's
yeah,
a can't miss.
he is
Okay. And Bill
absolutely a
can't
can't miss.
miss in the draft. He can't.
No, he can't because everyone will let him
Yep.
hear it if he does,
Yep.
including us here on
Yeah.
Locked On Patriots. Murph, top to bottom, I thought this was a very good draft. I know you mentioned the second guy at number 46. I think Murph and I are going to save our hefty praise for
Yep.
a very hefty human being in Dawand Jones to wrap up the show today because we just feel like that's the best way to send out everyone into the Twitterverse today. But when you look at this from top to bottom, I'm starting to warm a little to Parker Washington. Not
Thank you.
necessarily someone that is always brought up for the Patriots, but as a matter of fact, we're hearing a lot of maybe him staying put in Pennsylvania and maybe staying home with the Pittsburgh Steelers. But
Yeah.
I love this kid's ability to run after the catch. He really holds his contact well. Look at some of the footage, look at some of the film on him. A lot of special teams potential here as well. In my opinion, I think this could be an under the radar, very
Yeah.
good move for the Patriots if they can get him in that fourth round area. And it looks like by projection, he'd still be available in that
Yeah,
department.
he would. A lot of people have him projected down there in the 90s and, just outside the top 100. I don't agree with those projections. I think the kid is better than that. I love the pick. I
Yeah,
love the pick.
I
And
do as
then
well.
he backs that up with our old friend Jake Bobo down there, at 192. I like that pick also. And you can't go wrong with Alex Forsyth in the 7th round. Okay.
I know.
We've talked about at nauseum the lack of depth on this offensive line, and you can't just expect you can't spend every pick as
Right.
much as I'd like to at the top, in the top 100 on offensive linemen to bring in guys for depth or to push somebody on out. There's just too many holes to fill.
Yeah.
I love that pick down there that LJ made at 258.
Yeah, absolutely. 258, Alex
Yeah.
Forsyth from Oregon. I'm loving that. Overall, my friend, I think that Bob put out a very solid draft here.
Yep.
I absolutely love the branch pick. I know you do as well.
Yep.
Parker Washington, definitely a good one. Could be a solid kick returner as well. A point that I
Right.
forgot to make earlier that I wanted to make and make sure if they want to take some of the pressure off of Marcus Jones and they want him
Right.
to be an active part of what goes on in the offense and defense on this team, they're going to have to take a little something off this kid's plate. Parker Washington can be a designated kick returner. Marcus with the punts. That'd be a hell of a 1-2 combination
That's
there.
it.
So I love that. And, up and down. I mean, Kendre Miller of TCU getting,
Yeah.
taken at
I mean,
135.
I'm not sure that that's going to happen here. LJ
Mm,
went halfback back to back here,
yeah,
and I don't think that that's going to happen. And those two picks right now, with what is already on the roster here, I know we've talked before about bringing in another guy, but I want a third down guy. It's I'm not sure that either of these two are one going to be there. Kendre Miller, I'm
mm,
not sure he's going to be there at 135. And I
yeah, good
honestly,
point.
I haven't watched a lot of film from the East Carolina kid of Keaton Mitchell.
Keaton
I'm not sure.
Mitchell, yeah.
Did you notice him over the weekend at all, Michael?
Very little, to tell you
Yeah.
the truth. I haven't had an opportunity to really delve into some of his film either. I do agree with you. I think going back to back here, and I understand what Bob's trying to do
Yeah.
because you want to stack that position with
Yep.
as much talent and then be able to weed out what you don't need during
Right.
training camp and during rookie camp and mini camp. But at the same time, when you have a number of needs on this team,
You could
and
still make impact there.
exactly, and to backfill other positions of need and make sure
You
that
want
you're
to
a
take
little more
Deuce Vaughn
stacked.
there, I'm happy. But yeah, no, I'm looking linebacker there.
Mm,
A lot of people are overlooking the fact that this team could get very thin at
mm,
linebacker.
yeah.
So yeah, folks, do a little focusing there.
Yeah, absolutely. Very good point. Overall, I thought Bob did a very good job
Yep,
here. I love the branch pick. Dawand Jones, you can't go any wrong there. Sam Laporta, we're saving our tight end talk for Wednesday, Murph.
yep,
I think you know
yep.
why
I'm
we're
off.
doing that.
I'm off.
Parker Washington as well, I thought was a
Yep,
decent pick. I give this a solid B plus rising here because I think that from top to bottom, he addressed a lot of needs. And I think
right.
he swung for the fences on the trade with D Hop. May
Yeah,
not
he
agree with
did.
it, but I thought he did
Right.
the best job he could
You
here.
know,
Good
I
job, Bob.
don't. Yeah, that is one thing with me is we don't have to agree to be friends, and I don't have to agree with you to respect what you're doing, and I do. I always respect what LJ does. Solid B draft.
Yeah, absolutely. And bottom line, I mean, we come to you in friendship, Godfather. This is something that we're definitely proud about. We know that you're going to be flooding the Locked On Patriots Twitter account with some Godfather memes, and we can't get enough of them. Throw in a few GIF files as well because it's
There
a
you go.
visual too. It's action. It's all about
Yeah.
action here on Locked On Patriots. But Murph, if you thought that we went a little wild with the trade machine in this draft, wait till you see what our good buddy LJ's got cooking up for us. The trade gods were very kind to my good friend. And this is one I had to share with you all because LJ, for the first time, is trading out of the first round. And he's bringing back a haul. Did he bring back enough? Is it realistic? Is it fun? I think it's all of those rolled into one. We're going to break that down when this episode of the Locked On Patriots podcast continues. Patriots fans, the legendary Connor Murphy Fisto himself, Thomas Murphy of E2Gsports.com, joining us here today on not only Mock Draft Monday, but also hashtag Mocked on Murph Monday. And Murph, it's always an honor to break down these mock drafts that listeners submit. The first round was definitely a lot of fun. We even got a chance to talk a little DeAndre Hopkins. I mean, how great is it when drafts are submitted and you can put it into the big news of the day? It's a synergy that really makes me happy. But
Yeah, the
this
Godfather
one,
really hit it. He
he
really hit it.
really did.
Yeah.
Bob definitely did.
I think Bob.
His due, yeah, absolutely. His due diligence on this one, and a tip of the cap to the Godfather on that. But you definitely have to give a couple of tips of the cap to this one. LJ, our man at show_1 is always entertaining. Every time he submits a mock draft, you always love his ingenuity, his passion, and I think showing off a little intestinal fortitude, as the late great Gorilla Monsoon would say on this one. Pretty good haul, folks.
Wow.
You can see it. This looks like a CVS receipt. It really is amazing, folks. If you're not viewing, you're definitely going to want to check this out. We'll post it on the Locked On Patriots Twitter account. The Patriots trading out of the first round, bringing themselves into the second. And yeah, this is the definition of the word haul. The Patriots give up the first rounder at number 14 to the Houston Texans, and only Bill Belichick could do this to Nick Caserio. The second rounder at number 33, a third rounder at number 65, another third rounder at 73, a fourth rounder at 104. Folks, this is all in the same draft. This is all 2023 picks. Fifth rounder at 138, a sixth rounder at 179, and a third rounder in 2024. Wow, all right. The Brinks truck backed up there. Definitely you got Houston wanting someone very bad and Bill Belichick dangling that over the top. But when you look at this now and the Patriots picking at the second round, number 33, quarterback Deonte Banks out of Maryland.
Yeah.
I don't love this as a first rounder, but if they can swing this in the second round, Patriots may be on to something here with Banks. What are your thoughts on this, Murph?
Yeah, my thoughts are Waltz woke up with a horse head in his bed. There was an offer made that he couldn't refuse. This is a haul and a half. Okay, I know we talked about the Godfather in the last segment, but Jesus, Mary, and Joseph. This is a haul. Yeah, I am completely happy with Banks in the second round. Banksy in the second round, I'm taking that all day long. I love this kid. I love what he could bring to this Patriots defense, and this Jesus Christ, LJ, what the hell are you doing to people out there?
Well, bringing back Deonte Banks to be a strong contributor in the cornerback pool for the Patriots is a pretty good haul. I mean, you look at this kid; he's been a contributor since his freshman year.
Yeah.
In 2019 when he started with the Terrapins, played in 30 career games. 2021 season had the injury, no question about it. That definitely hampered him a little.
Back,
but
man.
Bounced back big
really
time.
Bounced back.
His 2022 season was the best of his career. He started all his games, had 38 tackles, 8 passes defensed, 1 interception. Got the size that you're looking for at this position, no question about it. 6'2", 205. He's a physical corner. Really, when I started to break this down, because admittedly, he's not someone I have my sharp eye on for the Patriots. I'm doing my diligence when it comes to him, but I hadn't scouted him the way I should. LJ's choices here really made me take a good look at this kid. Watch the smooth transitions in and out of the breaks. He really is able to find what his receivers do well and be able to match that.
Yeah.
That's something that's a very underrated trait in a young cornerback. So I love that. He can play both press coverage, odd coverage, can do them both at a high level. You can see why the aggregators like this one. I thought this was a pretty good draft or I thought this was a pretty good pick for what LJ brought back in that trade.
If you watched what happened over the weekend, I mean, you understood that this kid is a first round talent.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he might not be, as Mike said earlier, a top 15 pick, but getting him here would definitely be considered a steal. And this is a really deep draft for at cornerback. I love the pick. I'm not sure what else was there on the board, but you can't go wrong with this. He brings everything to the table that you want out of a quarterback with the size, with the speed, the fact that he can finish tackles. I love that. You guys have heard me preach it over and over again. Wrap guys up and drag them to the ground when you have to, and he does. This kid does. This is a fantastic pick, bud.
Yeah, without question. Something that the Patriots haven't really had in the last couple of years is someone that can complete tackles on a regular basis, especially at that position. They've got plenty of guys that have been able to find the ball hawks, guys that have a good nose for the football, but be able to play through the play. This kid can definitely do it. So don't see him mocked to the Patriots all that much in a lot of the national pundits, but perhaps he should be getting second, third looks right now. I really think that this kid might be a good fit. So LJ, I give you a lot of credit for that draft, but boy, you hit the nail on the head in the first one. Murph, when you look top to bottom, because we're gonna really prognosticate about Dawand Jones in just a minute. When you look at this draft from top to bottom, who stands out to you as the most prototypical Patriot in LJ's haul here?
Andre Carter. I've taken a lot of heat about this and the fact that Bill's going to take an Army guy. But let's make our good friend Steve Balistrieri happy.
Keep your friends
Just one.
close and your enemies
Your enemy's
closer.
closer. There you go. There you go. Another great reference. But I love Carter. I love everything that I've seen about him on film to this point. I don't see a downside. And then Michael Wilson out of Stanford at 135. Oh my God. Oh my God. Do you folks want to see me dance naked on this show? Because I will. If this happens at 135, I will. I love this kid. Another guy who's had some injury issues, but he's really come back, and I think that
Mm,
he could come in and contribute right away. I mean, right away. It's not going to be one of those redshirt years.
yeah, without question. Very, very good choices. I know we've talked about Nathaniel Dell
Right.
wide receiver out of Houston. His
Yep.
possibility to come in. I like the pick there. Travius Hodges Tomlinson, cornerback out of TCU, has been getting an awful
Yeah.
lot of play as a potential mid-round option for the
Right.
Patriots, a corner. I like it. I know that he obviously went with Deonte Banks early on, so you're double dipping here. But if you can get
No.
these two
No
guys on the
problem
same
with it.
field, I do not
That's
have a
it.
problem. Contrasting styles, complementary styles. Good job, I think, for
It is.
LJ. But Murph, it would not be mock draft Monday if we didn't talk a little offensive line, because again, you and I are in firm agreement that is the
Yep.
Patriots' biggest need here. They fill it in a big way. Both Bob and LJ filled it in a big way by bringing in Dawand Jones out of Ohio State. One of the highlights of Combine Week is always watching these guys measure in,
Right.
seeing what they're going to be able to do, watching
Oh my God.
their size and what they can do on the field and how they're going to look, especially an offensive lineman or a defensive lineman in these pro level fronts. And at 6'8", 360 pounds, folks, there is no question about it. Dawand Jones, huge human being, a 7-foot wingspan. Murph and I were joking earlier. If you get Trent Brown on the opposite side of this, they can pretty much just hold hands and be the
Yeah.
offensive line right there.
Yep.
We're going to invoke the Red Rover offensive line, folks, because you just clothesline your opposition and you're all set. Now, all kidding aside, that is really a disservice to
It really would.
to Dawand Jones's true
I
physical
would love
force.
to. Yeah, I would love to see this happen, just so I could get a picture of Mike Reese interviewing this man.
And Mike will do it too. There is
Yeah, Mike will.
evidence
Yep.
of
First
Mike
day.
actually standing
He'll
on
be
a
right
step
there.
ladder trying
Yep.
to get to the Trent Brown. That's all right, Mike. I have the same problem. So we're both built low to the ground. That's it. Yeah.
He is just a massive individual, man. 6'8", 374 pounds, has the
Mhm.
largest hands that I have probably ever seen, and I have shaken hands with George Foreman.
Mhm.
Okay, and this dude's hands are bigger than George Foreman's. What he's able to do with the body that he has, the footwork that he has,
Mhm.
it's unbelievable. He's got room to grow as a blocker. I think if he is coached up in the right way, and I think what the Patriots have done this offseason with the coaching staff, that will happen. I love this pick, and he's
Yeah.
just a massive individual, and I want him on the Patriots. I would love
Yeah.
it.
I think a lot of Patriots fans would love to see this guy wearing Patriot blue or really filling out those red throwbacks the Patriots,
Yep.
which I'm told will, again, use next year. That's part of the rotation now, folks. So get used to Pat Patriot. But he's a powerful blocker. He's a dedicated blocker. This is a guy that will block through the whistle. You're not going to see him give up or quit on a play that big. Because especially at the tackle position, not mentioning any names
Bring
here,
your
folks,
syrup,
but
because there's going to be pancakes.
yeah, absolutely. And there, was question about that for the last couple of years at this position
Yep.
for some of the Patriots. But this kid can really open up a running lane, but he uses his size, his length to secure the edge in pass protection as well. So talk about a dual threat in terms of a tackle that can come in and provide protection for Mac Jones, but also open up those lanes for guys like Ramondre Stevenson, Pierre
Right.
Strong, Deuce Vaughn. See what I did there, Murph? Get through the lane and be able to do that and push through. We're willing it, bud. We're gonna
That's
will
it.
it. We're gonna do it.
Yep. There's
No,
no
all
there's no
kidding aside.
worry there's no worry about short arms here.
Yeah,
Nobody's
absolutely.
going to be kicking inside
Yeah,
because his arms are half an inch short.
yeah, absolutely.
Not that I'm
And you know
taking
what?
Skronsky
You know
anywhere.
what?
Anyway,
Whatever length he may lack, Dawand Jones can definitely, boon him
make
in
up
that
for it.
position
Yep.
because there's no question about it. And he fits so well into the gap run schemes that Bill
Yeah.
O'Brien loves to employ.
There you
So
go.
overall, I thought LJ did a great job here. I admire the ingenuity. I'm not sure what he's doing to get these trades to go
No,
through, but whatever it is, continue it. I give this a solid B plus, maybe even an A rising, just because I love
yeah,
Dawand
no,
Jones.
I'm giving it a C because LJ walked into
Ooh.
someplace with a gun and he put it to somebody's head. You know, either your signature or your brains are going to be on the paper if you don't complete this trade.
Yeah, but that's my family, Murph. That's not LJ. It's not LJ. It's my family.
Brilliant.
You
Brilliant.
like the
No,
lasagna?
this is an A draft. You
Yeah.
can't cut this up in any way. I mean, had Eli Rax here at
Mm,
what? I can't read that. What was that?
yep.
75. It's
Yes.
just a fantastic. He hit
73.
everything. The only
Hmm.
the only downside to this is you have to cut half of the roster to get these guys on.
Yeah, it's true. It really is true, and it's a labor of love to try to
How
do it.
many
But
picks did he make here?
uh,
There's
I
47
lost
picks.
track. Yeah, I lost track. It really is. Yeah, it's a
47 picks.
47.
Oh my God, man! We'll have to have we'd have to have just a rookie team picture,
A whole new roster.
you know. But
Yeah,
from top to bottom, these are guys that could crack this roster.
yeah, they
You
are.
know,
There's a lot
they
of
really
talent
are.
here.
There's a
Yeah,
lot of talent here. I don't think that there's anybody on this in this LJ's draft that you would be trying to squeak onto the practice squad unless it was disadvantageous to cut somebody because you couldn't take the cap hit.
yeah, and we haven't even mentioned a couple of Texas defenders that would really look nice in
Yeah,
this Bill Belichick defense. DeMarvion Overshown at linebacker,
right,
Moro Oshomo at the defensive interior.
right.
Really, really solid picks
Yeah,
here. So you know what? No B plus. That's an A rising for me.
yeah.
LJ, great job, my friend. Thank you. Not only entertaining, but this one was really, really well thought out. So, folks, please continue to send in mock drafts each and every mock draft Monday. We continue to get amazing, amazing submissions. The ones that we share with you are the ones that amuse and arouse Murph and I to a point where we feel we have to share it with you guys.
Can't
And we
say that on
definitely
standard
have.
basic locked on.
But in all no, in all fairness, it really,
Yeah,
really is heartwarming to be able to do this and share our information and our takes on some of the hard work that you guys put into this. You're not setting the simulator; you're putting thoughts into these,
right.
and that's why we're proud to share it here on Locked On Patriots. So, Murph, another mock draft Monday, another Locked On Murph Monday in the books. But folks, we are just getting started here. Don't Please do not hesitate to smash that subscribe button, download, subscribe to, follow Locked On Patriots so you can stay locked into all the very latest coming to you from Foxborough, and we will bring you the very latest here on the show. Before I let my good friend go here from E2GSports.com, Murph, please let us know what is on the horizon. What can we expect from the great pen, the great voice of Thomas Murphy this week?
More Red Sox. That's it. More Red Sox. I'm completely into it. I've completely flipped the coin from all of my screaming, moaning, and whining about the lack of money being spent, and I'm focused on what's on the field and how the Sox are going to get back into the postseason this year. Other than that, tomorrow. Another fantastic One Patriots Place with Classy Claire Cooper, who you'll see here on these airwaves later during the week, I'm sure. We've got the one and only Alex Barth
Mm.
stopping in, and we're going to be talking nothing but combine tomorrow. So check that out tomorrow, 9 o'clock.
Absolutely,
Live.
folks. Definitely be sure to check that out. And of course, check out Murph each and every Monday here on Locked On Patriots. He pops up on Fridays a lot as well.
Come
So
on.
be sure to get those free agent wish lists in. But we definitely
Yeah.
want your mock drafts. Thank you so much for making Locked On Patriots a daily part of your New England Patriots coverage and also your first listen every day. And now that you've made us your first listen, please make your second listen our good friends over at Locked On NFL Draft. My friends and colleagues, Keith Sanchez and Damian Parson, are kicking it out of the park every single time,
Good stuff.
right through the upper eights. These guys are doing tremendous work, not only for the Draft Network, but also for Locked On NFL. So check that out wherever you get your podcasts. And again, folks, once again, you can always check us out here on Locked On Patriots by downloading, subscribe to, and following us wherever you get your podcasts and smashing that subscribe button on YouTube. On behalf of the Count of Murphy Fisto himself, the Don of Locked On Patriots, Thomas Murphy, I'm Mike Debate. Stay safe, stay well, be the change you wish to see in the world. Have a great day, everyone.